before continuing on, I do want to give a special thank you to Journey Instruments for working with me on this video to do a giveaway of one of their puddle jumpers. It's this awesome, like, super compact travel guitar that they make. I'm going to talk a little bit more about that, though, later in this video. I have been putting off this problem here for way too long. This is the spare tire. That is why it has got black rims as opposed to the silver rims and all the other ones. And I really have to take care of it, guys. Like right now, the one that is in the position where the spare was has a couple of nails in it. Some of you guys remember if you've been following along back in Alabama, I picked up a bunch of nails on I-10 going through Mobile. Taking care of this tire issue is the #1 priority for the day-to-day. And right now, the one that is where the spare is normally underneath the van, and they said that they weren't going to be able to patch it because the nails are in a weird spot. I'm hoping that this tire shop here will be able to patch it and somehow salvage that thing, because I really don't want to put all new tires on this van just yet. Eventually, I want to get, like, Yokohama makes a Geolander tire. It's an all-terrain tire, which would give me a little bit more ground clearance and would fill out this wheel well. I think it would look a lot nicer. But I'm just not ready to do that. Like, these guys, they have 30,000 miles on them, and they definitely still have some tread left in them. Like, I think I could probably go at least another 5,000 miles on these tires and be totally fine. And I also really want to do something about these wheels too. Like, they normally have like this little plastic thing on them which covers them, and I definitely lost one of them somewhere between here and Utah. I have no idea where it is. Like, they pop off, and I just don't really like how they look. I'd like to try to figure out a way to make them look a little nicer. Just ran into AutoZone to try and find some like hubcaps or something to cover up these wheels, but they just all look really, really bad, so I think I'm just gonna have to stick with them the way that they are for now. Maybe I'll get some OEM Nissan hubcaps to go over them at some point in the future, but the good news is the tire issue is taken care of. I ended up buying just one new tire. They conveniently had the exact tire that I needed in stock. Apparently the tire shop that I was at has a contract with a company nearby that has like 300 Nissan NV200 vans in their fleet, and they work on all of them all the time, so they had tons of tires. And that's kind of rare because these NV200 tires are notoriously pretty hard to find, but it was actually pretty nice. So I got one new one, and then the spare, the old spare, I decided to keep that one in the rotation here because that's pretty much a new tire. It only had 1,000 miles on it, and then I have two older ones in the back. So the two new ones are in the front, two old ones are in the back. I've been parking underneath a pine tree at my sister's place, and I definitely regret it at this point. I officially hate sap. I think it's like my least favorite thing ever. I think I'll just stay parked over there for the next couple of days and avoid parking under these trees.
Nico! Nico! What are you doing?
It's fine that I've just been kind of hanging out in my van a lot, especially in the mornings before it gets too hot. Although my sister's place doesn't actually have air conditioning, so it gets pretty hot in there too. I don't know, I just kind of miss spending time in my van. The last few weeks, don't get me wrong, it's been great being able to see family and hang out at different places and kind of move around a little bit, but I miss being on the road. As I mentioned earlier, this is Journey Instruments' new puddle jumper travel guitar that they recently did here. And you know, the first thing that I thought when I saw this thing, I went to a FedEx location to pick it up the other day, and as the lady was coming out to give me the package, I thought, like, that cannot be the package. Like, there is no way that that guitar is that small. But when this thing breaks down, it's pretty incredible how tiny it is. And Journey Instruments makes a lot of guitars that are all designed as travel guitars, so the neck essentially breaks away. So when you look at it, it looks like it's like broken in half or something, but it is not broken. It is designed that way. It's just a really clever and awesome design for travel instruments. And I have a Journey guitar. I've had one for over a year at this point. Those of you that have been following along for a while will know that, and I absolutely love the thing. Like, it is a full-size guitar, and it just sounds amazing, and it is really like an awesome piece of equipment. And this one here is like half the size of my guitar. Like, it's so much smaller, and the bag itself is super lightweight, really easy to travel with. And that's kind of what they're going for with this puddle jumper. They're looking to make it as small as possible, but still make it very playable, and then have something for folks that are maybe on the road full time, like me. Folks that are out there traveling in vans and RVs, or even if they're flying a lot and just traveling a lot constantly. This thing is so easy to travel around with and to transport, and I think that they definitely succeeded. This is only a 3/4 size guitar, so it doesn't sound quite the same. It doesn't have the same tone as my full size guitar. It definitely is a little bit different, but at the same time, as a sacrifice and as an alternative, to be able to travel with and have something that is easy to travel with, I think this is pretty awesome. And we are going to be doing a giveaway of this exact unit. So if you are interested in trying to get this thing, if you head over to Instagram and you follow Journey Instruments Instagram account and my Instagram account, and then you leave a comment on my most recent photo, which is also going to feature this guitar here, I'll include you in the drawing to be a potential winner of this guitar. And I'm thinking that I'm going to pick the winner on Sunday evening, more than likely, so I'll give you a few days to be able to get that comment in, and then I'll get it shipped off to you. I'll send you a direct message, and then we can figure out your address and go from there. So pretty excited for whoever wins this thing. It definitely is an awesome travel guitar. This is definitely one of the most portable guitars that I've ever seen in my life. I think this is about as good as it gets at this point, and I'm a really big fan of Journey Instruments. Like I said before, I would definitely recommend checking them out, guys. I'm going to put a link in the description below to this guy. They have a lot of other really awesome instruments as well. Thank you again, Journey, for working with me on this video. So I've been on a bit of a minimalist kick recently. Well, I guess I'm pretty much always on a minimalist kick, but especially now, for some reason, I've really kind of been focusing on it a little bit over the past couple of months here. And I've also been trying to get back into golf as well, which is like very much a paradox to minimalism. Like, it's not the most minimalist sport, requires a lot of equipment. I really haven't played too much over the last few years while I've been on the road. I mean, maybe like once or twice a year at the most. And I'm trying to figure out a way to play a little bit more often, because I do enjoy it. And, it's definitely not the cheapest sport. It's like super expensive, but I do believe that there are ways that you can make golf at least a little bit cheaper. Most golfers play with a regulation size bag that includes 14 clubs most of the time, sometimes 12, 13, 14. But what I've been trying to do here is play with a lot less clubs. So right now I'm playing with like 7 clubs. I've been playing with 6 the other day. I played with Morgan with only 6. I'm trying to figure out ways to really make my bag super light so that then I can walk all the time, not have to spend all the extra money on a cart. Carts get pretty expensive. And then also I kind of just like the challenge of playing with less clubs. It does definitely add like a whole new dynamic to the game, though. That last hole, I would have normally taken a 7-iron off that tee, but I took an 8-iron because I don't have a 7-iron in my bag, and I ended up with like a 30-foot putt for birdie. If I had taken the other club, I probably would have been right next to the hole with the same exact shot and the same exact swing. As if golf wasn't challenging enough, it definitely makes things a little bit harder. But I do enjoy the ability of having a lot less clubs. I can walk. I kind of prefer walking. Having a cart is nice, I guess, but it's a lot better just to be able to kind of be out here and take my time, really enjoy the round. And it definitely, makes things a little bit more challenging in the sense that you have to really think about every shot and really consider what you're doing. And isn't that the point of golf after all? I'm a little rusty. Somehow managed to completely lose the ball. Like, I have absolutely no idea where it went. I looked up and the sun is like right as you look up after you hit the ball, and like it completely blinded me, and I think it's on the left somewhere. Why am I getting back into golf again? I think it's time to start rushing out here. Got 3 holes to go, and these clouds are not looking like they're messing around. You guys see the wind on that thing? This is crazy. I think it's time to go in. I think I made it out of there just in time. It's definitely about to start downpouring. This whole minimalist thing, I know I talk about it from time to time, and I feel like it really does kind of help mitigate some of the stress that comes with like major changes in life. And Shannon and I have a few big changes coming down the pipe, like within the next couple of months. Some really exciting things that I'm really looking forward to. A lot of opportunities and stuff, and I'll share those with you guys at a later date here. But you know, the bottom line is like having less stuff. I've been going through like my clothes. Now all my clothes fit comfortably in one of my drawers in this van, my smallest drawer actually, so I'm able to fit everything I need in there. And just like going through, I had a lot of like extra camera gear and stuff that I wasn't really using, so getting rid of that, selling an extra lens that I had, like things like that, really kind of just focusing on getting rid of the stuff that I don't need. And then the same goes for when I get a new thing. Like I'm planning to get a new lens here because this camera is extremely heavy with the lens that I have on it. Like walking those 9 holes, I'm not even kidding guys, the camera is heavier than my golf bag. Like it hurts more to hold the camera up and talk to it than it does to carry the bag on the other shoulder. So I really need to do something about it. So I ordered a really small, compact, wide angle micro four thirds lens, and I'm going to be able to get rid of this one. But that's how it works. Like if I get something new, it's going to replace something that I have that is old. And I'm also getting rid of some other things as well, really just trying to pare things down. I find that kind of makes the stress of like major changes and stuff, it helps to mitigate that a little bit and makes it a little bit easier to be able to kind of flow through life. And I don't know, maybe it's crazy. I don't think minimalism necessarily works for everybody, but for me, I do find that it definitely helps to kind of keep things in order for me and kind of keep me on path and everything like that. So I think I'm going to end this video here though. Thanks for watching guys, and a special thank you to all my patrons out there for your support of the channel, and thank you again to Journey Guitars for working with me on this video. I'll talk to y'all in the next one.